Your assailant. Yet there's a school in Surrey that teaches you how to do exactly that. And if you qualify, they'll even teach you how to deal with bombs.
Get back, pig, or I'll blow him right now. Back up. Back up. You try something, I'll blow your brains right out of your head.
We have a car right over here.
Back up or he is
This
dead.
looks like something you'd see on the 11 o'clock news or in a movie about terrorism. Well, it's supposed to look like that.
Slow,
Stay, hold on to the weapon. Be like this. You have to actually come to the control right there. And your hand, other than being here, it should be right there in this area. And
you have to understand that you cannot go out and tell people outside what you have learned here, because the stuff which you learn, some of the stuff which you learn is quite sensitive. What is dangerous is the little knowledge which we're going to pass on to you. Not dangerous to us, not dangerous to the people outside, dangerous to yourself.
This is the Eagle Academy in Surrey. Its curriculum has only one objective: to teach people how to survive and deal with modern-day violence. The man in charge is an ex-military advisor in Southeast Asia, Maia.
The thing is the terrorists are becoming more professional the way they operate. So the public at large need knowledge and training to deal and survive ordeals that may happen in aircrafts, hospitals, buildings, office buildings, and so forth. Now, is a need.
Based on that gloomy reality, the school has put together courses in self-defense against guns, knives, and explosives, hostage takers, terrorists, and assassins. The students pay anywhere from $100 to $900 for skills they hope will help them become bodyguards or just better able to defend themselves.
If you want them on the ground, you put them on the ground.
Last summer, this school for mercenaries in Alabama made news when it was accused of training Sikh terrorists hostile to the Indian government. Those reports linked the Alabama school to the Eagle Academy, but Maia says those reports were untrue.
This way. At different times, 8-6 went through the school. And what they learned was basic self-defense, and we had a problem just to get them to understand what we were doing. And they left the school without any knowledge of explosives, as they claimed would teach the Sikhs.
In this type of a situation here, what we have is we have another hostage taking. This is the kidnapper here and the hostage.
Teaching self-defense requires the creation of scenarios that are both demanding and realistic.
The entry team, in this case, you have one person on the left-hand side of the door.
Walt Verdermeyer, Maia's chief lieutenant, describes a hostage-taking exercise.
The person on the left would kick the door open, roll on an angle like this. This is so that he will distract the kidnapper's attention over to him so that he will focus on him. The second man from the entry team swings around into the door area, and he administers the firepower over to the kidnapper. Okay, that was good. Just hang on a second. Les, you have to make sure you keep the legs tighter together, okay?
Many of these students see the course as an avenue to a career. Cameron Elliott wants to be a professional bodyguard.
Well, I believe that you have to make your own work, and since there's such an insurge of terrorism in Canada now, you have to step into the door while it's still open.
It doesn't raise any problems for you in terms of risk to yourself, eh?
Well, it's all part of the trade. It's much like a person working with a chainsaw. You're bound to get cut.
Do you think terrorism is really a threat that is worth you investing this kind of time in?
Oh, most definitely, yes. If I don't, who's going to?
You'd have yourself like this, knees slightly bent.
Students who want more specialized training will go on to learn about detecting and defusing explosives and about firearms. However, says Maia, not everyone who seeks those skills will be accepted.
Halfway through the course, we release some people because they've never been mentally ill or never had criminal records. They have a tendency of actually becoming violent in the future in the stress situations, and they may use their training to confront the police on the other force. So we're very careful on that.
Not everyone sees the academy as a pathway to employment. Marketing specialist Bob Tuss is interested only in self-defense.
We as Canadians as a whole tend not to understand how difficult certain parts of the world are, And I don't think it's a matter necessarily of participating every time physically, but there is a mental preparation that gives you an understanding of what can happen, how to avoid situations in particular.
Okay, this one here, the car is coming directly at you. You're standing in the center of the automobile. You administer shots at the driver.
Disarming an attacker requires skill and coordination. But what if the assailant is behind the wheel of a car? Richard Lautz finds out the hard way.
Physical training is such an important aspect of the balance in life. You have to train your body as well as your mind. This type of physical training is so much dependent on how you train your mind. And the balance does make you act in a situation more appropriately. The delay is not there between action and thought.
Our school is not like survival games or weapons are secondary to everything we do. What we try to train the people is mentally to deal with situations. Because a weapon is not a defense. A weapon is an offense. I've never seen a bullet stop another bullet coming your way. So therefore you have to train your mind before you can use a weapon.
You want to place the weapon on my head, please?
Sure.
Okay, so your one hand, your right hand comes up, over, locks over his wrist. At the same time, your left hand comes up to remove the weapon away. The finger is locked into the trigger and directed at the opponent's head.
Most conventional wisdom says that that's a good way to get your head blown off.
By the amateur, I agree. But if you've been trained to deal with weapons and remove weapons from attackers, there is no danger. There's more danger to the attacker. Now, do as best as you can.
Men see this kind of training as a way to better defend themselves or get a job. Women, like Inca, see it as an antidote to fear as well.
It feels like you're not just going to stand there and say, please don't hurt me. At least you got some things that you might be able to use, you know. You go after the hair and try to bring the guy down, or you feel more secure that you have a chance of surviving and getting away with it without being hurt.
Throwing people to the ground in the classroom is one thing. The reality symbolized by these drills is a far different thing.
Now that you're coming to the final stage of your course, I want you to keep in mind that guns are not toys, knives are not toys, and you've been through a lot of pain. Believe me, a bullet hurts a lot more than that. A knife hurts a lot more than that. So don't play with weapons. Respect it. That's what I ask you.
We are going to take another break, but we won't be long. Stick around.